Hello there and welcome to this video, which I'll be demonstrating a few features of SketchBlock Pro, specifically how to use it to create an icon, which will also demonstrate a few of the new features. So I'm going to be working on a 256 square icon. That's the largest size you can have, but it just makes things a bit clearer whilst working and keep the size fairly large. And I'm going to set the size of a new project to 256 by 256. I'm going to use normal memory because we're working quite small, so there's no reason to use the paged versions. I'm using in floating point, will be saved out in normal 32-bit eventually. So here's a basic empty project. I'm going to get rid of that blank legs, don't really need it. Right, so I'm going to make a simple text-based icon. I'm going to create a hashed kind of capital letter logo, a simplified logo for SketchBlock basically. So I'm going to choose the text tool, create text. I'm going to choose bold oblique. I'm going to set the size to about 400. And we want it to fill the text and stroke it. I'm just going to do it with default settings first, and then I shall customize it to the preferred settings, so you can see what happens. So simple, 2 capital letters, SB, make text. So now that's come out a little bit, so I'm going to scale that into place. So I want to take off the lock aspect and then just basically move that into the frame of the icon. Now that's using the default brush and fill. So what I really want to do though is use a pencil effect. So I'm going to actually delete this frame and try again and reverse those two so the lighter is on the fill. Then I'm going to choose the smaller of the 2 pencil brushes and repeat that process. Create text. I'm deliberately making mistakes in a sense here so that you can see my thinking of the design. Scale there again. Bring it into the window. Scale. Now that's okay, but it's quite a blurry edge, and I want something a bit sharper. So what I'm going to do now is take this brush and use the new brush editing window. I'm going to take the size of the brush down to 20%. So now when I do this and create the text, it's a bit fiddly here. Notice all the settings are saved in between each usage. Now we've got a much sharper image, so I want to bring that in. I can set the transparent preview actually so you can see the shading. I'm going to bring that in. This is more closer to what I want, so I'm going to set that slightly offset in the center, but in the center of the icon space there. So now I have there. Now to work properly when saving out the icon later, I need the layer to be the right size of the image. So I'm going to use a little trick. What I'm going to do is choose the merge visible and clip to project, and there's only one layer, but what that does is it resizes the layer to fit to the project. It's just a little kind of misuse of that technique. Actually, notice that's slightly off center, so I'm going to move that using the move tool. I'm just going to move it crosswise. That's better. And then I'm going to repeat that little merge trick again. Right. So now we have our layer. I'm now going to zoom in a bit so we can see what's going on. to about 400%. It's quite big. Now what I want to do is shade in a hatching effect in a kind of reddish colour, which is similar to the logo, the Pro logo. So set the colour up there, and then I'm going to use the colour selection tool so that I can select this area where it's grey, so when I draw it's much easier, it won't overflow into the areas outside the icon. Now you can see that it's actually selected the grey areas, all the points that are close to that colour within a tolerance of like 27% have been selected. I'm actually going to make that a little bit less actually, because it's selecting some stuff outside the area I want, so I'll make it near a 10, and then I'll repeat the selection, and you get a slightly tighter selection now. Now back to the paint tool, I'm going to use the constrain function so that that's odd. That integer gadget has got no border for some reason. Little bug. So set that to 1, which is like 45 degrees or so, give or take. Now press the space button, and then I can draw a diagonal line straight in the direction I start off in, like so. Now I'm going to switch over to my tablet now and use pressure, because to give it a little bit more variation I'm going to set the size to vary, but I don't want it to vary too much, so I want it to vary from about 50%, maybe sort of 60% up to 100 as I press the thing. So, and then I can press the shift again to get the constrain action, and again. So now I'm getting a slightly more, still a small variation in size as I draw the line, and the constrain tool and the selection means that I get nice neat straight lines I can just draw straight through. As you notice, the mouse pointer moves off the line, but once the constraint is set it keeps drawing straight. So just kind of fill this in to give that hatched effect, and keep going. Doesn't have to be completely even to make it more natural. Oops, spawn's gone the wrong way there. So press Ctrl Z to undo that. Keep going. Fairly quickly. Oh, gone the wrong way again. Basically, the constrained line will go in the direction that you start moving the mouse. So if you kind of just twitch it slightly in the wrong direction, you might end up occasionally getting the wrong line, which is a bit odd. Probably because I was doing it a bit fast. Just fill in the B. See, I can draw through the hole in the B because the selection mask is preventing any overspill. Which speeds things up, makes it a lot less fiddly. So just fill in the rest. I'm just going to throw a few more incomplete lines to make it look a bit more like a natural shading effect. Same on this one too. If it's too even, then it won't look quite what I want. Okay, so that's our kind of basic icon design. Going to reset the zoom to 100%. Still got the selection mask on, so I go to edit and then clear selection, and that now switches that off. So we've got a very rough icon idea. Could have been a bit smooth around the bottom of the B there, but trying to keep the overall time short. So now I need to make a copy of that for the selected image. So copy there. Got a copy. The top image in the icon saving module, which I'll show you later, is always taken as the selected image. So now I'm going to make the selected image a little bit darker. So go to Layers tool again, color adjust. Don't want contrast and gamma, so switch those off. I'm just going to set these to 0.8. Thinking of replacing these with sliders in a later version, but at the moment I only have to type in the number you want. So you can kind of click the view and you can see that there's a variation there. Now, new tool we've got a script which will apply a glow effect. So hit that, and now we've got a glow icon effect. So you can toggle between the two. So now we have our icon design with the selected image on the top and the normal image on the bottom. So you can choose the export as menu from there. Basically, so choose Amiga icon info. We want to save it with the alpha. Now we do an export, and I'm going to put it into T, and I'm just going to call it SB. It will add the info on for you. So now if I go across to my RAM disk, you see that I have an SB icon, and you see it's scaled by AmigaOS down to the 64 because that's my maximum icon size on my workbench settings. So see there, you now have and there's the icon. So what I'm going to show quickly now is how you can edit an existing icon. So I'm going to snapshot the T icon just to create a real icon, and now I'm going to come in and I'm going to import that this time. Go from volume, RAM disk, T, put the thing, and then click T. Oh, I don't actually want it as a file name, so can't press return. This is slightly odd because it's a draw. Press OK. Ah, yes, of course. Because it's a draw, it gets a bit confusing. Confuses the input script slightly, so what we need to do is put info on it. Going a bit crazy with my typing here. And now I've loaded in the icon. So what I'm going to do is copy the layers from the bigger icon into the smaller icon and scale them into place. So we're going to edit, copy, and change to the new one, and then paste. You see I get a huge big version of the icon. So scale, resize layer. I'm just going to zoom that in kind of small, scale it into place, and then I'm going to zoom in to about 400 here so I can see it better. Well, I think that kind of lines up okay. And then, so what I'm going to do now is merge that into that layer. So disable the normal image so it's not visible, and then I'm choosing merge visible, clip to project again. So no, that's now merged into the single layer. Now I'll hide that one and show the other one. No, actually, I will show that again because I need to use it. Right, back to the other project. Select the unselected image. Copy back into the new project. Paste. Now we've got the unselected image large. So back into the scale tool again. This time I need to try and match it up with the existing one, otherwise it will look a bit odd in the icon. So just scaling over, just kind of get it roughly right in the middle. Not going to be too fussy now for speed. Scale it into place. Now I want to hide the selected image, so I only have the unselected images showing, and then again merge that. Merge visible, clip to project. So now I have two icons, and by the way that works, it's ended up the wrong way up, so I just want to bring that down so the selected image is on top again. Now I'm going to export again. Export as it stays on icon already, so I'm just going to export and I'm going to choose T. And it will put it in the right place this time. So now you see that the T icon now has a SketchBlock logo added to it. Well, so thanks for watching this. Hope that's given you a few ideas of some of the newer features. Things that are covered included very quickly the new pressure ranges options, changing the sizes of brushes, and the import and export of icons, and also the new apply glow menu item. There's a few more things in there to find out about, but I'll let you explore those for yourself. Thanks very much for watching.